Alright. Greetings to the judges. Today, I'm bringing you a speech about mental disorders. Mental disorder is one of the major problems in the world. Mental disorder can be found in nearly everywhere in this world, and it is within someone who suffers from it. Currently, right now, it is approximately 1 billion of the world population are right now suffering from at least one type of mental disorder. Our society tend to think treating mental illnesses as it is just another type of disease or it is just another type of illnesses that can be treated very easily. However, treating mental illnesses can be a bit challenging for modern psychiatry. Why? You might wonder why. Well, this is because mental disorders typically affect the mind that is very mysterious, and scientists doesn't even have any idea what is the subconscious mind is, and they don't find any specific cure or treatment to treat mental illnesses. Another challenges for modern psychiatry to treat mental illnesses is because it is not identical or it is not the same like other type of organic diseases like cancer and autoimmune diseases. This is because mental disorders typically affect the mind and they don't cause any changes within this body, within the cells in the body and the DNA. There are a lot of types of mental disorders such as psychotic disorders, eating disorders, mood disorders, anxiety disorders, and personality disorders. So I'm going to give a speech about 3 types of mental disorders. Let us just get started with anxiety disorder. Anxiety disorders are types of mental disorders involving anxious feeling. While we all feel anxious sometimes, that is normal. That is an everyday bodily sensation. But if you have this type of constant and persistent anxious feeling without any apparent reason, you might be suffering from an anxiety disorder, especially if the anxious feelings is persistent, constant, troublesome, and excessive. Often, anxiety disorders has its own episode of sudden feeling of anxiousness preoccupied with fear or terror that reach and peak within minutes, or it is called panic attacks. The causes for anxiety disorders are: number 1 is some type of organic diseases like hypothyroidism, respiratory disorders, and some type of heart disease. Substance misuse can also cause you to develop anxiety disorders. The risk factor for anxiety disorders are: number 1 is trauma during childhood or maybe trauma during adulthood, a stress build up due to an illness or whatever reason. Number 3 is your personality type, and the last one is some substance misuse like drugs or alcohol misuse. If anxiety disorders is not treated, it could lead to such a horrible complications like depressive disorders, depression, insomnia when you have trouble sleeping, bowel problems, trouble functioning at school and dealing with routine activities, or even worse, it could lead you to commit suicide. And this is very serious. So, if you or your friend or maybe your family, your relative are suffering from any type of anxiety disorders, please go and refer to a psychiatrist for medical attention. Alright, that is about anxiety disorders. What about mood disorders? Mood disorders typically affect the mood. Well, we all feel moody sometimes. We all feel angry, we all feel sad. It's just normal. It is just an everyday bodily sensation. But if you have an extreme happiness or extreme sadness or even both occurring at the same time within a week, a psychiatrist might diagnose you with a mood disorder. Typically, mood disorders will affect how you will function or deal with your routine activities. There are 2 types of mental disorders associated with mood disorders. Number 1 is depressive disorders, depression, we already referred it, and number 2 is bipolar disorder. The causes for this type of mental illnesses is: number 1 is trauma during childhood, number 2 is some stress build-up, Number 3 is some type of organic diseases like cancer. And number 4 is some chemical imbalance inside your brain. Someone with depressive disorder or depression is more likely to commit suicide. This is because they feel sad all the time, and they think to end their suffering and sadness is by ending their life, and this is very serious. So, if you know that you or maybe your family, your relative or your friend are suffering from a depressive disorder or any type of mood disorders, please go and refer to a psychiatrist for medical attention to avoid unnecessary thing and horrible thing from happening. Alright, it is about mood disorders. Now, lastly, I'm going to give a speech about personality disorders. If anxiety and mood disorders typically affect your feelings of anxiousness and the mood, personality disorders, however, affect how you will function and behave. Someone with personality disorders have hard time connecting with other people because they have a rigid, unhealthy pattern of thinking within themselves. Like an example, they will bully or hurt other people because they cannot process or feel emotion. We usually refer this type of people as toxic people. There are psychopaths and narcissists. A psychopath is someone that is unexpressive, unemotional, fearless, and also morally depraved. They are master in psychological manipulation and they like to bully. A psychopath is even more dangerous than a narcissist because they are more impulsive, violent, and felonic rather than a narcissist. A narcissist is typically someone that loves themselves too much and they think that they are better than other people. A narcissist is also someone that is master in psychological manipulation and they like to put others down. This is because it is to make themselves feel better, and this is because the thirst of grandiosity within themselves. Although personality disorders doesn't have any cure, but if you might suffer from this type of mental disorders, please refer to a psychiatrist. They will cultivate a more healthy pattern of thinking within yourself so that you will function, think, and behave normally like other people, although you suffer from personality disorders. So there are a lot of types of mental disorders, and scientists need to do more research on this topic so that our psychiatrists, maybe in the near future or maybe in the far future, will have a specific cure and treatment to treat their mentally ill patients. And yes, don't forget, if you or maybe your family, your relative, your friends are suffering from any type of mental disorders, please go and seek medical attention to a psychiatrist. This is because we want to avoid horrible things and unwanted things from happening. That's all from me. Thanks for your attentiveness and thank you.